Hey, thanks for joining me for another Jellyfish here on That's Not My God channel through the Sanctuary International Matrix. I'm sitting here on my swing here, my little, it's an old rickety bench swing, but it's where I kind of come to go to get outside and get some fresh air right in front of my house. And if you hear cars go by, it's because the road's only about 20 feet away. But, the last few podcasts I've been doing, people have been sending in a message, just here and there saying, you're kind of a rebel, aren't you? No, I'm not. And speaking with my other friends at the Sin Fest, Sanctuary International Nashville festival coming up in July. I actually lost a friend over today because, a Facebook friend. We've never met or anything. I think they were kind of on a witch hunt, but they dropped me as a friend. And, we get flagged a lot of times when you want to do something just a little bit more radical, I guess could be the word. And it really isn't that radical. I mean, you've read the scriptures before, I've read the scriptures before, and over throughout scripture we read where Jesus was considered a radical, I guess, and definitely a revolutionary. He broke the Old Testament laws in multiple places. The Pharisees tried to railroad him on a few things, and oh my goodness, on and on. The woman at the well, the dining at Zacchaeus' house, his first miracle, wine into water. Actually, it's water into wine. And where he literally took water, turned it into wine, and then us today in our theological circles, we sit back and we wonder, was it fermented or not? It was fermented. But yet somehow today we still feel that if we do something out of the norm, we're considered rebels. Well, we really got to look back at that and say, I think this is probably what Jesus would do. This Sunday, I shared the stage on Mother's Day with a lady in town who opened the strip club. It was awesome message. We really had a great time, and there was so much healing for women as we talked about embracing your inner and outer beauty. But there again, was it something that we did strictly out of rebellion? No. It's something that Jesus would do. It's something that Jesus would have done and sit down and have conversation. This lady gave up the life of being a stripper and owning the club and has moved on, and she's a regular attender at our church, and I love it. We meet once in a while at the pub. We'll go down there and just have conversation, and the pub owner actually said it's the highlight of her month when our group comes in and we're able to just have conversation. A lot of times we're restricted from doing things that we may deem too radical because somebody is watching over us, somebody may be offended by it, we're not sure if we got to run it by the certain people. And, I think the best example of that is Jesus himself. He didn't run it by anybody. Is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I meet in the pub? And he didn't have anybody pointing back at him and saying, you can meet at the pub, or maybe not, but don't fall into sin with them. What is that? Maybe God's called you to do something radical in your life. Maybe you're doing something radical already. But maybe God's calling you to do something today, the next few weeks. You don't know. But take the step and do it. Take the step and go for it. You'll be surprised at what happens, and you'll really find a lot of joy in it. You're going to meet Jesus in it, and you're going to deal with a lot of naysayers. You're going to deal with a lot of Pharisees. But go against that. Shane Claiborne, in his book that he wrote with Tony Campolo, Red Letter Revolution, he said, we ought to be upsetting the ones that Jesus upsetted, and we need to be loving the people that Jesus loved. What is that going to take for us? What is that going to take for you? Something to think about, something to ponder. If you need to talk it over with somebody, Skype me, Pastor Bob Adams, all one word on Skype. I'll be happy to dialogue with you and talk about things. Email me, vtwinrev@thatsnotmygod.com, or post your comments right here on YouTube, and we'll get back to you. So think about it. Are you a rebel?